For the first time, the wind blowing. The familiar figures of John Rutherford and Roy Laidlaw missing from this Scottish side that carries a new hinge in Douglas Wiley and the one new cap in the side, Greg Oliver. A second cap for Kelce's Alan Tait. One change in the pack that fought so valiantly against France. Jeremy Campbell-Lamerton in for the injured Derek White. A milestone for the captain Colin Deans, his 50th international and leading his country in a cap international for the 11th time. Zimbabwean disappointment at the injury absence of the gifted Richard Simba, so Andre Buitendag joins his brother Dirk in the side. Watch for the left wing Eric Barrett play game. Martinus Grobler comes in at first 5'8", but it's the same pack as played with such purpose against Romania, except for the late introduction of Alex Nichols at loose head prop. Watch for the number 8 forward Mark Neal. It's a side drawn from just 4 clubs and it's captained at scrum half by Malcolm Jellicoe. And the Zimbabwean side have taken the field and they'll find the conditions underfoot simply perfect. The head groundsman here, John Jennings, has done a wonderful job, and the Scots as well, who came out earlier to have a look at the pitch, have found it firm and holding, although obviously that breeze is going to be troublesome. Bit cloudy overhead, and there, what a moment for this man, Colin Deans of Hawick. His 50th international match. Only the 4th Scot to reach that pinnacle after Jim Rennick, Andy Irvine and Sandy Carmichael. And there, this powerful Zimbabwe side just waiting for the anthems. So we're all set for the start of this 4th game in Pool 4 of the World Cup, and for a first ever meeting between Scotland and Zimbabwe. And there, Greg Oliver, what a day it is for him. His first cap, taking over from the injured Roy Laidlaw, and the first Hawick player ever to be capped at scrum half. He is in fact Hawick's 50th international player. And there Colin Deans, a clubmate of his, Hawick as well. And the Scottish forwards just getting together there. They're going to be playing with the wind, Scotland, and that's exactly what they had hoped to do. And their number 4 is Jeremy Campbell-Lamerton, whose father Mike led the British Lions here in 1966, played 23 times for Scotland, the youngster in his second international. So Zimbabwe may well have won the toss and decided to play against the wind in the first half, which is not what the Wellington sides usually do here. And there, David Ingram Henderson Burnett of Ireland taking charge of his 13th major international, a former centre with Dublin Wanderers. Aided today by Stephen Hilditch, his countryman, and Derek Bevan of Wales as the two touch judges. You can see the flag on the halfway line there. It's what New Zealanders call a little brisk. That means that you almost get blown off your feet. And Scotland will want to put on some points this half. Gavin Hastings gets the game started. And in typical fashion puts the ball out of play. And so there's Gavin Hastings. The Scots will be hoping that he's in form with his place kicking today. Martinus Grobler. This is the 20-year-old who's been brought in at standoff half. As the game started, Finlay Calder went to dribble on. Number one at the front of the line out there for the Zimbabweans is Alex Nichols. Now the Zimbabweans have cut to 3, and of course the Scots have to leave in only 3 as well. Campbell Amerton at the front, Alan Tomes in the middle, Ian Paxton at the back. The throw in by Lance Bray, taken there by Paxton. Oliver, it's his first pass nicely to Wiley. The chip kick was meant for the corner, but it's gone over the touch and goal line for a dropout to the Zimbabweans. And right away, Eric Barrett, the veteran in the Zimbabwean side, takes a quick dropout, taken by Oliver. Out there to Gavin Hastings. Number 5 is Mike Martin, big lock forward. And there was an offside against the Scots. And the Zimbabweans are they going back to take the scrummage? We believe the wind's gusting to about 30 knots here. And Zimbabwe will be very happy if they can hold the Scots to a low score at half-time. Now here's an important area for the Zimbabweans. They're slightly the lighter pack, about 5 or 6 pounds a man, nothing very special. And of course on this side we have a tremendous duel in the front row in prospect between Ian Milne, who's the cornerstone of this Scottish pack, a tight head prop, against Alex Nichols. Jellicoe was waiting, but he was picked up by his breakaways. Fed out there from Bray. Barrett chased there by Duncan. And so there's Eric Barrett, who today is playing in his 79th match for Zimbabwe. He's 35 years old. Finlay Calder is broken. Got it from Oliver. Calder on there to Paxton. Paxton almost up to the 22. Good thrust. Oliver again. Now it's Wiley. Along the line to Robertson to Tait. Hastings in the line. A chance for Tukalo. Tukalo over halfway. And gives it on there to number 13. And it's a try for Alan Tait of Kelso. The first try for the Scots. 4 points in all. 3 minutes gone. The Scottish flags fly aloft. What a start for the Scots. And Derek Grant, the Scottish coach there, and Bob Monroe, the manager, on the left, thrilled. It all started with Calder going there to the right and Paxton taking on. Now he took several fellas out here, but watch for the perfect layback of the ball. And then it was a question of Hastings getting into the line. Now there he was, timed his pass perfectly. Tukalo did well. Actually, he wasn't held when he was brought down, but what a marvellous pass to Tait, and what a good try. So it's Gavin Hastings with 119 points and 11 internationals. And that's 121. 6 points to 0. They played about 4 minutes. And watch this pass from Hastings. He took his man. It was Sean Graham, pulled him in. Tukalo still had a lot to do. Came inside Ferreira, the fullback. And then watch this little flick pass. Perfect. Thanks very much, said Alan Tait. Martinez Grobler of the old Herrerians club, several of that club playing in this match. Restart. Stones couldn't hold it. Taken there by the number 8, Neil. Big, strong, powerful chap. And this is a very big, boisterous Zimbabwean pack. And there's a big, boisterous London Scot, Jeremy Campbell-Lamerton, playing where his dad played before him, what, 21 years ago. David Burnett there, one of the most experienced referees on the world scene, much respected. 26 years a referee, David Burnett. Oh, good drive by the Scots. That Zimbabwean pack in trouble. Jeffrey catches the scrum half, Jellicoe. Nicely fed out to Campbell-Lamerton. The Scots, of course, a vastly more experienced side. And they are not a great crowd here today, but still enough to give a delightful atmosphere to the proceedings. And so the injured player, Dirk Buitendag, whose brother is playing at centre. It's him, he's playing in his 10th international, first played for Zimbabwe in '85. So this is the Scottish 10 metres line. Oliver. Gavin Hastings was in the right-hand standoff position, if I can put it that way, having moved up from full-back. His wings, of course, will be ready to cover him. Lovely, steady Scottish scrummage. Oliver to Hastings. Hastings long. Ferreira. Oh, what a cracking tackle there by Robertson. Back in from Tait to Tukalo. Tukalo, immensely strong. See how he kept his feet well, gave his forwards a target. Oliver, Wiley, long a line there to Robertson, beautifully out to Hastings. A real chance for Matt Duncan, but it went forward. And Kevin Graham uttered a few friendly words there to Matt Duncan. But the Scots in charge at the moment, winning useful ball, backs looking dangerous. Jellicoe, the captain, puts in, and it's the pick-up by Neil. Caught there by Jeffrey. Neil, powerful fellow, good drive. Now it's fed back from Jellicoe. And that is Kevin Graham, the inside centre, or second 5/8 as he'd be called here. Tough little fella, Kevin Graham. He's manager of the Red Lantern Bar in Harare. So if ever you fancy a free pint, that's where to go. Campbell-Lamerton has a look to check the signal. Catch at the front by Campbell-Lamerton. Milne rumbles on, taken on by Paxton. Now it's Jeffrey. Back there goes Gray, number 6, the red head for Zimbabwe. Oliver ferrets and feeds. On the line again. Oh, beautifully from Hastings to Tait. Couldn't get the pass in. Be a scrum short of the line. And Alan Tait there, remember, who got his first cap in the match against France just recently. Father used to play rugby league. So, a lot of options on here for the Scots. Which one will they pick? The hold in by Ian Paxton and the drive. Zimbabweans will have to watch for offside. Paxton could pick it up and get the try, but it was guddled. Just a little bit over anxious. But, well, that's the siege situation for the Zimbabwean pack. Lance Bray, the Zimbabwe hooker from the Alexandra club. All those players come from clubs in Harare. Penalty for pulling down. Scrummage was lowered. And there the Zimbabwean coach, Brian Murphy. Grobler. Taken by Hastings. Oh, that was a super tackle there by Eric Barrett. But it's Oliver. On there to Paxton. Pick up by Milne. Having just a bit of difficulty, the Scots, in judging the feel of the ball. And the grass here at Wellington is slightly longer than most, and so the Scots are used to that. They're used to the grass being left long on their pitches. There's a great drive, and it's a pick up by Jeffrey onto Paxton. Paxton halfway through. Jeffrey goes through. Now it's Oliver feeding onto Campbell-Lamerton. Desperate defence here by the Zimbabwe side. Now it's Oliver. There to Robertson, to Wiley. A great try for Duncan from Hastings. Matt Duncan is home. His 4th try for Scotland. Scotland ahead 10 points to 0. They've played almost 11 minutes.
And the try for Scotland to number 14, Matt Duncan.
It really looked so easy from the time the ball came back. Keith Robertson was there, then Wiley, then Hastings, and once again the perfect timing of the Hastings pass sent the wing clear. Just from behind the post, this is Keith Robertson, the veteran. Now Wiley, slick passing, and once again Hastings taking out 2 men before he passed it on to Duncan. So Gavin Hastings, who remember kicked 6 penalty goals in his very first international against France 2 years ago. That looks good. Yes, it's through. Good judgment in this gusting wind by Gavin Hastings. Scotland leading 12-0 and the management duly satisfied.
Hastings.
So Gavin Hastings with 123 points to his credit for Scotland now. A lot of jollity and good fellowship down in the stand there and below us too. Grobler restarts. Bit too far. Calder called. Oliver. Wiley. That's high. Super catch by Neil. Offside again. And so the Zimbabweans are taking the scrummage. Remember, they could have taken the penalty. So it's that surprising a bit because their scrummage has had a bit of trouble. This the Scotland 22. Scots with 2 shots against the head already. Plenty of advice to each other you can hear in that Zimbabwean scrummage. And David Burnett, like a good referee, toddles round to the other side, suspecting that there's a little bit of hanky-panky going on that far side.
Coming in. Coming in.
Neil went for the pick-up, but Jeffrey was judged offside. Ball still in the scrummage, and the big Kelso Farmer got round just a bit too quickly. So the chance for Zimbabwe to open their account. The young Grobler has been given the task of goal kicking. Of course, Ferreira, the fullback, kicked 3 goals against the Romanians. And here he's kicking, in a sense, across the wind. And in a way into the face of it too. The 20-year-old then, Grobler. Oh, he struck it well. That's a lovely kick. Well, he might be one of the youngest in the squad, but he took that as cool as a veteran. 12 points to 3 Scotland lead. They've played 14 minutes.
Penalty to number 10, Martinus Grobler.
And that certainly will be happening to the Zimbabweans, who of course came to this World Cup as the vast underdogs, but did so well against Romania that they made everybody sit up and take notice. Gavin Hastings. Again, very high. Grobler assesses the options and gets himself up there quickly in the hope that he might get a little tapping away. It's a bit too far. Campbell Lamerton takes. Wasn't held, so he was allowed to play it. Yes, offside there. May have been against Covendines. So there are some very beefy fellows in this Zimbabwean pack. Grobler. Well, he didn't kick it far, but the main thing was to find his touch and not give the Scots anything that they could run back or kick back to him. Deans throws. Tomes get it. Soul busts right through the line out. Gives it on there to Calder. Calder has Jeffrey outside. Jeffrey going all the way. Oh, and he lost it up. He lost it for the second time. Well, Jeffrey will be peeved at that. It was a superb breakout started by Soul, then Finlay Calder with his pass to Jeffrey, the white shark as they call him in the borders, and look, that's where he lost it. Well, those could all be very important with the Scots facing the breeze in the second half. Restart kick again, taken that time by Tomes. Scots smuggling. Campbell Lamerton rips like his dad used to do. Oliver. Wiley. It's a hanging ball. It was awkward there for Ferreira. There's a high tackle there by Alan Tait. Referees decided it wasn't dangerous. Maybe he thinks it was more a cuddle than a tackle.
Wellington.
So the Scots within 10-12 metres. Very steady Scottish scrummage, but Ian Paxton had no way through there. He actually picked the way where the scrum half was. And there was just simply no opening for him. Be better with a quick feed to his scrum half or coming to the right. But the Scottish scrummage are having no problems whatever. It's solid, it's strong, it's moving forward. The footwork is good. Oliver tells them what to do. Look at the little ferret at the back there, telling them what's wanted. Oliver burrows through, and Oliver has scored in his first international. What a thrilling moment for the 22-year-old. He just burrowed through there like a little mole. Scotland 16-3 ahead, 17 minutes gone. And congratulations all round for Oliver. It really looked so simple. Paxton held it in all the way. The Zimbabweans had broken to the side, expecting the drive up the side, and Oliver simply shot through the gap. So fancy getting your first cap and scoring a try as well. There he is, the stocky little fella, Hoyk's 50th international player. Gavin Hastings. See the wind he has to deal with. Hastings then. Pulled. So the Zimbabweans will be kicking themselves about this. Look, Oliver picked up, and really he went right through his own forwards, but didn't touch one of them. No accidental offside. Good try. So Bob Munro there in pensive mood, but happy at 16-3 for Scotland with 18 minutes gone. Grobler with a dropout. You'd hear the loud call, no doubt, as to who was taking it. Finlay Calder. Now they're trying to roll it. Paxton seems to have it as the great Scots support sings "O Flower of Scotland." Wiley hoists it high. The bounce is the important thing, and it was awkward for everybody. Tait was up there. Now it's Tukalo, beautifully fed to Deans. Jellicoe in with the tackle on Deans, but it had gone forward. Just listen to the Scots singing. They are enjoying themselves. Mind you, it's great when you're ahead, isn't it? Just inside Zimbabwean territory. Oliver, oh, what a pick-up by Wiley. The switch there to Tait. Tait onto Hastings. Hastings to Calder. Calder waits for the blue blanket. There's the production line, and there's Oliver and his good left foot. But it's too good. Too far. That's his powerful foot, the left one, but he's been working on the right as well. And so Zimbabwe have left in Mike Martin at the front and Mark Neal at the back. Little bit of jiggery pokery by Mark Neal, but the tap wasn't a good one and the Scots have benefited from it. Oliver, Wiley again, going for touch at the corner. Ferreira and Andrew Ferreira here, a 25-year-old professional tennis coach, very fit lad, positioning well for the diagonal kick. Zimbabwean 10 metres line. And at the front there is Malcolm Sawyer at number 2 for the Zimbabweans, but Ian Paxton has taken it in again. Wiley from Oliver. Robertson. This is Tukalo. Oh, Tukalo, look at this. He's going clean through. Tukalo's away and he's going to score. That's an astonishing try. A quite remarkable try with even the Zimbabwean reserves clapping that. Ivan Tukalo, the left wing, scores in the right corner, and it came about like this. Watch the switch play here from Robertson. Now he had a lot of fellas to get past, but he saw the gap. He's very quick. He moves well off either foot. He almost stumbled here, and that helped him break the tackle of Ferreira, and he was home. So Ivan Tukalo's second try for the Scots in a major international gives Gavin Hastings this chance to stretch the lead. Just sneaked in. The Scots thrilled. Gavin Hastings with 3 conversions. And Scotland ahead 22 points to 3. It was the lovely switch that did it. Keith Robertson was the man, a lovely little flick pass. Now look at Tukalo, he was going flat out here. Remember, he's going on the other wing. The stumble really deceived the tackler. It was Eric Barrett. Finlay Calder doing well at those restart kicks. And Deans is in there next to Calder, rolling and rumbling. Now the ruck ball, and Wiley once more. Found a lot of space, but so has Ferreira. Nice judgment of the kick by Ferreira. Oliver caught in 2 minds, but Hastings was there to support. Now it's out to Wiley. Wiley's away. Great play here, Robertson. Out to Matt Duncan. Duncan is going over the 22. And he almost got it in before he touched the touchline. But a thrilling run that by Matt Duncan, this powerful West of Scotland wing, 14 stones of him. And the Scots backs really revelling in a supply of superb quality ball. Here's Lance Bray of the Alexandra Club.
Come on, Jerry.
Held it back well, taken by Neal. Tomes trying to rob him. Down goes Jeffrey.
We have, sir. We have.
Offside against the Zimbabweans. And it really is in eminently kickable position, and this being a World Cup match, the crowd maybe take a dim view. They'd like to see Scotland running it. But this, after all, is a match for World Cup qualifying. Scotland, of course, with just the 1 point so far from their 2020 draw with the Frenchmen. And Greg Oliver is injured. Now this will be a worry for the Scots because, of course, the fact is they don't have a scrum half replacement. The other scrum half, Roy Laidlaw, is injured, and no wonder Bob Moreau's just looking a bit concerned there. And Derek Grant, the coach, and of course Ian McGeechan, who played here for the Scots. And so Roy Laidlaw will be watching this as well, but Oliver's a tough, teak-like character, and there's no way he's going off if he can possibly help it. Not in his first international. So Gavin Hastings with the first penalty kick at goal for the Scots. Now he pulled that one. It's a little fault that occasionally creeps into his kicking. Gavin Hastings, he draws them all like a golfer, hitting from, is it inside to out, pulling it to the left. Grobler restarts. David Soul added his impetus there, and the Zimbabweans couldn't hold it. It's Wiley from Oliver. Wiley half through, gives it on to Keith Robertson. Robertson, lightning little fellow, on to Campbell Lamerton, taken by Paxton. The feed on there to number 15, Gavin Hastings. The try is given, and Gavin Hastings scores his second try from fullback, and the kilts are flying and the flags are flying, and Scotland are streets ahead, 26-3. They played 26 minutes. And once again, it was the switch of direction, this time by Keith Robertson. Now, he's a will-o'-the-wisp runner, as you can see. Campbell Lamerton did well to release the ball to Paxton, and then up came Gavin Hastings, and Alan Domes helped him. Watch Robertson. He's so jinky, look at that. And the lovely pass as he fell. Full marks to Campbell Lamerton and to Ian Paxton. Thanks very much, Gavin Hastings. Gavin Hastings with the conversion. That was better, and it's through, and it's his fourth successful kick of the match. 4 conversions and a try. 28-3. They've played 27 minutes. And Brian Murphy, the Zimbabwean coach, who played 56 times for Zimbabwe. There's Malcolm Jellicoe, who is the captain, and here's Grobler, his halfback partner. Grobler gets it going. Good call by Campbell Lamerton. Fed from Calder. Oliver Wiley. Taken there by Barrett. Another good pass to Ferreira. Kick taken by Wiley. Wiley on the other foot that time. Was that a little knock on by Barrett? Referee decides no. Number 7, Dirk Buitendag, took a real clatter there. This is the big flank forward. Played first for Zimbabwe in 1985. There's a wonderful atmosphere here at Athletic Park in Wellington. Of course, for any visitor here, and especially for a visitor up here in the commentary box, it's a thrill to look out over this famous pitch and ground where so much of New Zealand's rugby history has been enacted, and the Scots here are thoroughly enjoying it. Weather staying reasonable, a bit cloudy over the harbour area, but it's dry, blowy. You can get an impression of just how strong the wind is from the 3 flags. Just outside the Zimbabwean 22. Ian Paxton, tackle there by Jellicoe. This is Oliver. Kept it in well. It's a nasty hanging ball. Good catch by Ferreira. Andrew Meyer Ferreira bringing a bit of relief to his teammates there. and doing exactly what he was needed to do. Deans with the throw. Combs and Jeffrey Palm. Oliver feeds. Wiley to Robertson. Out there to Tait. Very good tackle there by Kevin Graham. Loud blast there and a penalty to Zimbabwe. It may have been for going over, it may have been for playing it in the ruck, but they're taking a short one and that's great for them. Out to Barrett. Barrett past Duncan, but his foot hit the line. And there's this amazing fellow, Eric Barrett, who actually retired from the game and became a national selector, but got fed up with that, gave it up and came back to play in the World Cup. Colin Deans in his 50th international, shouting above the crowd. This Mark Neal's a good forward, the big fair-haired number 8. Powerful man. And there he is opposite number Ian Paxton, who's coming within one cap of the record for a Scottish number 8 forward. And there is Mark Neal. They call him the tank, and he runs like one. Does as much damage sometimes as well. Here he goes again. Buitendag trying to link inside. The drive on again by Neal. What a forward this is. He really is something else. Great stuff. That's Ian Milne. Oliver found an awful lot of space away behind Ferreira. That's a searching kick. Yes, no fun for Andy Ferreira to have to go away back there. And there's this great bull of a player. He's just under 17 stones, but he's quick with it. See the shoulders. Deans throws. Yes, a little bit of leaning. This time the Zimbabweans going for the kick to touch. They've kicked fairly well into the wind. Notice how he kept it low. And they found most of their touches, which was so important to them in this first half. So Buitendag at the back for them, opposite Finlay Calder. Finlay Calder, a twin of Jim Calder, who toured with the Lions here, you may remember, in '83. Now it's Wiley from Oliver. There's the Gary Owen again. Ferreira. Very well done by the fullback. Full marks to him. You've really got to be sure, you've got to hold your technique right under the high ball, and he's doing just that. So Colin Deans gathers his players round him as they deal with a Zimbabwean injury. You'll be pretty happy with the situation, Colin Deans. 28 points to 3. 5 tries in this first half. But it's number 6 there, Rodney Gray, who's actually playing in his 32nd match for Zimbabwe. There he is, the big ginger-haired lad. So they're inside that Zimbabwean 22. Knocked back by Calder to Sol. Sol to Campbell-Lamberton. His old dad would be proud of that charge and the way he laid the ball back. They're only about 10-12 metres out. Another strike against the head by Deans, or more a shove against the head if you like. They're going to finish up in Adelaide Road if they're not careful. What happened, said Deans, it looked a good strike to me, but then the hookers would suggest that, wouldn't they? But it is a very impressive Scottish scrummage. To here again, the Zimbabweans have lost it, the Scots have taken it against the head. Paxton holding. And Paxton Burrows, did it touch the line? The try is given. Ian Paxton, the scorer. It doesn't have to be over the line, just touching it is enough. And 32-3 is the score, and they've 6 minutes to go to the break. Well, it was a monumental shove by the Scots, and superb control. They seemed to have the confidence of knowing they'd win the ball against the put-in. And Paxton did well, he took it all the way, and then watch, plonk on the line, 1 try. And that, believe it or not, is a Scottish record, or at least Gavin Hastings converts what is a Scottish record try by Ian Paxton, because no Scottish forward has scored more than 4 tries in internationals, and that's Ian Paxton's 4th. It's a record that has stood for 100 years. Charles Reid away back in the 1880s. $34 points to 3, Scotland lead. Derek Grant, the coach, on the right there, also from Hawick Thrill. Grobler restarts. Good take there by Martin. Buitendag. The drive on there by Andrew Tucker. He's a big drop forward. Now it's Jellicoe. Grobler trying to kick. And now it's Finlay Calder driving for the Scots. And the Zimbabweans seem to be in 2 minds as to exactly what they're trying to do. They get a drive going, but instead of continuing it, they then put back sloppy ball in a far too loose situation. They really have to get together and lay the ball back neat and tidy the way the Scots are doing. Again, the pick-up by Neil. That's obviously a key Zimbabwean tactic to get Neil into the game. Now it's Tucker, the prop forward. Tackled there by Tomes. Fed on there to the fellow who came in late, Alex Nichols. This is good stuff, good driving and rolling. Zimbabweans getting a great cheer. Jellicoe actually was waiting for the ball and almost got shoved in by his own forward. But they've got a penalty. May have been for handling in that run. And that certainly was much more heartening from a Zimbabwean point of view. Injured player there. Ian Paxton. And the Zimbabwean player injured is Alex Nichols, who actually came in at the last minute as loose head prop forward. Anxious looks from the Scottish management, because they wouldn't want this fella to be injured. Ian Paxton, who's playing in his 31st international today. It's his 22nd as a number 8. He's had 9 of them as a lock forward. So we go back to the penalty kick, attempted by Martinus Grobler. This lad came up through the Zimbabwean under-20 side. He's already kicked 1 out of 1. And there's 2 out of 2. So the 20-year-old making his presence felt. And Brian Murphy suitably satisfied. Although there's a long, long way to go and a big mountain to climb. 34 points to 6, and I make it about 2 minutes to go to the break. Zimbabwean replacements up there. David Burnett just waiting till the sandlot gets off the pitch. Gavin Hastings gets it going. See from that dead ball line flag that the wind is still pretty fresh, and that's what the Scots are going to have to face in the second half. Grobler, who's had no chance to run today. Not a great restart kick either. Gave his forwards no momentum. Stephen Hilditch, the Irish referee, international referee, he's down there as touch judge. And there is countryman David Burnett. Campbell Amerton took it, Tomes kidded on, he'd taken it. Paxton and Jeffrey and Calder, the breakaways, are doing the rumbling and rolling. Notice how they kidded on one side and then went the other. Good control by the Scots, and of course it's a penalty for deliberately pulling down the ball. And will the Scots run it? The crowd would love them to. And they're going to do it. Oliver, the feed on to Soul. Soul beautifully laid back to Oliver, fed on there to Calder, to Jeffrey, Jeffrey to Wiley, Wiley to Robertson, and it's a try for Tait, his second try of the match for Alan Tait, the 22-year-old. And David Soul there was the man who started it. Alan Tait, the lad who finished it.
Alan Tait.
A clever tap penalty move. The tight forwards taking it first, and then the Lucies came in. Here they are, two of them, the breakaway forwards. Wiley was held, but Robertson's lovely pass gave Tait an easy score. Gavin Hastings once more. 5 conversions and a try for Gavin Hastings, and it all came from here. John Jeffrey busting, Wiley very well held, and it was Robertson's pass. Alan Tait hearing the encouraging voices of his countrymen in the background. We'll support you evermore. Calder again. Soul rumbling and rolling. Jeffrey now. See the avalanche go in, carrying people away. Wiley to Gavin Hastings. It's bouncing in play. It's awkward. So Gavin Hastings, who is lethal on that narrow side. We're into injury time at the break. The Scots going for another score, no let up here. They know they've the elements to face the second half, and so it's Oliver again. Wiley, good acceleration by Wiley, out there to Gavin Hastings, but what a superb tackle by Eric Barrett, the veteran. A little obstruction running across the opposing player. Grobler clears. David Burnett looks at his watch. It will tell him they've played almost 3 minutes into injury time at the break. Scotland ahead 40 points to 6. But a lifting, was it? 10 penalties to Zimbabwe in this half, to only 2 to Scotland. Grobler. Referee's whistle goes for half-time, and Scotland arrived there having scored 7 tries, leading by 40 points to 6. It looks a big enough cushion for the Scots, and a great time for young Oliver. A debut try. Scotland ahead 40 points to 6. Yes, I can hear you fine, thanks. And welcome back to Athletic Park, where the And welcome back to Athletic Park in Wellington, where the Zimbabwean players there have had plenty to discuss during this second half, and where Brian Murphy, their coach, would just love to go out on the field to pass on a few words of advice. But of course he's not allowed to do so by international law. And so at 40 points to 6 down, And for this man, Colin Dean's 40 points to 6 up. Well, it's a great situation for the Scots, who simply have to win this match to be able to hope of qualifying for the quarter-finals. Remember, they got 1 point from their draw against France, and it's crucial that they win today so that they can make the match against Romania a decider for the pool. But this Zimbabwe side has shown a tremendous spirit, as you remember from their game against Romania, and so we can expect them to launch a series of attacks if they can win enough quality ball. The conditions are still very good. It's dull, but it's dry. The pitch is holding up beautifully, and David Burnett blows to start the second half, and Grobler kicks it deep, and Gavin Hastings, according to the textbooks, turning his body so that if he mishandles the ball, it'll go behind him and not go forward for a knock-on. And he gives it to Douglas Wiley. The better kick-off. Coming back to the forwards, Ian Milne takes, is caught by Gray. Penalty for perhaps playing the ball in the ruck. Oh no, he was over the top. Ideal refereeing attitude of David Burnett. Gavin Hastings clears. And David Burnett there has a lovely rapport with the players. They know that he's trying to help them to enjoy the game, but he's strict with it. See, just little things like that, the ball boy on the pitch, and so they have to do it again. Through in by Lance Bray. Meant for Neil at the back. In came Campbell Emerton. Once again, the cohesion of the Scottish forwards has been impressive. Sticking close, you can hear the shouting by Deans for the drive to keep it going. The Scots, of course, knowing that whatever happens, they'll get the put in because they're going forward. David Burnett there has been refereeing for 26 years, and he's been on the Irish panel for 12. That's an indication of the tremendous experience he has. A lot of breath being expended there in those scrummages. All getting hyped up. Of course, the front rows have a little bit of warfare of their own. They have their own laws. Lightning strike by Deans. Wiley, Robertson, Hastings in. Interception by Jellicoe, the captain. A real chance here as Ferreira goes. Ferreira chased there by Jeffrey. Back inside to the Kevin Graham, the centre. Gray was up there in support. And that really was a splendid bit of work by the Zimbabweans, but Oliver clears. The Scots forwards did the needful for them there. But what a delightful breakout. And a little warning to the Scots that they can't afford to mishandle and leave loose ball lying about as they did there. What do you want, says Lance Bray.
Get in, come on!
The Zimbabweans so far have won just one line out in this match. Colin Deans, the Scottish captain, is at the bottom there. He was the one who took it in. But Zimbabweans down by 40 points to 6, 3.5 minutes of the second half gone, but pressing for a first try of the match for them. That looks like a free kick. Delaying the formation is usually a penalty. They've been pushing too early. Gavin Hastings clears. So a cool customer, this big Watsonian. Plays for the Watsonians club in Edinburgh. And of course his brother Scott is on the tour as well. Hopes to be fit for Tuesday. Quick throw in there to Mike Martin, but it didn't work. Deans gives it to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, good protection. David Soul takes it on. Now it's Oliver. Oliver half through, gives it to Wiley. He's out in the open. Campbell Lamerton going, gives it on to Paxton. Paxton going back inside. Paxton thumping on. Oh, what a good try by the number 8. His second try of the match. And his 5th for Scotland. Oliver really started it all off with this little threat here, and then the superb running off the ball by Wiley and Campbell Lamerton. Now Paxton had an awful lot to do here. He dummied inside, he had no room outside him, but he made the line. That was an excellent bit of running by the big Celtic number 8. 8 tries for Scotland. Away out there on the far touchline is Andrew Gavin Hastings, playing his 11th international in a row. Kicked 6 out of 8, as you'd see, which is pretty good going on a gusty day like this. Give it a good belt. Oh. Out of the top drawer, that goal kicking. 46-6, the Scots ahead. 18 points for Gavin Hastings. Oliver threatened. Now, Wiley did a beautiful bit of running in space, and then the forwards took over. Now, look at Paxton. He didn't have a lot of room. Eric Barrett couldn't hold him. Neither, indeed, could Kevin Graham. Good try. So Grobler has kicked dead. And although the Zimbabweans are taking a bit of a tanking, they'll learn a great deal from this match. And maybe for the next World Cup, well, they'll be better prepared. Wiley with a quick one. Taken there by Calder. Good to see a little bit of enterprise like that, because it all sparks up the game a bit. It's the Scottish front row with David Soul, the youngster, on this side of the front row at loose head. Colin Deans and Ian Milne. See the complete control the Scots have of their scrummage ball as Wiley feeds there to Hastings. Gavin Hastings, the Scottish fullback, is getting very near to record proportions in point scoring. There he is. He's got 18 points. The Scottish record is 21. Just outside the Scottish 22. Big fella Sawyer got through just now, and that's quite a good ball. Grobler, not the best Gary Owen he's ever kicked. Good dive by Gray, then Buitendag, the flanker, goes on. Now it's Jellicoe, and Ian Paxton didn't mean to get in the way. Now it's Gray, now fed on there to number 5, Mike Martin. And that's good rumbling play by the Zimbabwean forwards. Another drive by Tucker. And it's a try. The try is given. Let's see who gets up last. Well deserved. It looks as if it's Dirk Buitendag, the flank forward. Last man to get the touch on the ball, and what a great moment for him. They capitalised on that ball off Paxton. Gray taking it on, and then the big man Martin, and then the surge went in after this lovely heel. Tucker drove once more. Now see Buitendag, yes, he made it all right. Good try. What a lovely feeling for that big fella. The kick goes over. It really was the thrust here by the big tight head prop Andrew Tucker that paved the way for the Buitendag try. The try was converted by Martinus Grobler. Ian Milne takes. Colin Deans goes in to rescue. Greg Oliver finds space. Nicely in there from Sean Graham to his fullback. So Ferreira playing a very sound game despite the intense pressure that he's been under. And what a feeling for the Zimbabwe fellas to score a try on Athletic Park at Wellington in their first ever match against one of the international championship sides from the Five Nations Championship in Europe. Paxton again. He's having a great match, Paxton. He really is in the best form of his life at the moment, this lanky number 8 forward. Used to play for the Glenrothes club up in Fife. Took them from Division 7 to Division 4, then joined Selkirk. And there he is, second from the tail. Good catch by Neil. Round on the wrong side, penalty Zimbabwe. It's you, says the public. Who, me? Grobler. Lovely catch by Tukalo. Gavin Hastings runs well for a big man. Tukalo couldn't hold it. Picked up by Calder, out to Robertson. Ball had gone forward. That was so, says Keith Robertson. He's 32 years old, playing in his 38th international. A very slight figure, just 11 stones. Another mountainous Scottish shove. Desperately difficult for them to control that ball. Good tackle by Tait. Fed out there from Graham. Graham to Neil. Neil again, this great bullocking number 8 forward. What an imprint he's made on the match. Out to Tucker. Super tackle there by Wiley. Just on halfway. Put into the Zimbabweans, and they're playing with a lot of fight and spirit. And the crowd are rising to them. Not straight. Yes, I thought sometime that Malcolm Jellicoe would be nicked for that, because he has been inclined to put it in squinties, as he, in a way, you're bound to do when your scrimmage is under such trouble. Gavin Hastings took the tap punt, lofted a high one, it's awkward. Back goes Jellicoe. Good clearance. Zimbabwean captain had to look smart there. The Scots, of course, are contemplating not only winning this match, but of course they've got the game against Romania on Tuesday. Great catch by Jeffrey. What a thumping drive by Soule. Oliver, Wiley, Robertson. That's the switch to Tait. Zimbabwean forwards rumbling on. They really have got the bit between their teeth in this second half. And full credit to them. There's no way they're going to lie down, although they're away behind. 46 points to 12 in arrears. We've played almost 14 minutes of the second half. Better scrummage. Gave Jellicoe the chance to feed Grobler. Hastings called. Hastings beautifully out there to Oliver, just running off the edges of his fingers. Hastings again. I suppose it's one of the great benefits of having a fullback who's 15 stones, and that is that he can ruck and maul like a forward. Oliver, the injured player, for the second time in the match. Scotland, of course, at the moment have only 21 really fit players. Scott Hastings is hoping to be fit for Tuesday's game. This is brother Gavin. And a great pair they make from a physical point of view. Very powerful in the bust, both of them. The Scots, of course, don't really want to have any more injuries at this stage of the tour. Bob Monroe, the Scots manager, a very cheery fellow at the best of times. You wouldn't think so. Jellicoe, Grobler, Buitendag. Paxton in with the first tackle on Grobler as he tried to retrieve. Jellicoe again. Barrett was in. That was out there to Sean Graham, the right wing. This Dirk Buitendag, who scored their try, was in quick there like a good flanker. And that's Kevin Graham, who's just in his 4th international today. Those are the lads who've certainly done Zimbabwe and rugby proud in this second half, the forwards. They've taken such a crunching at the scrummage, they've hardly won a line-out ball, and yet they're showing great spirit and determination and resilience. Gavin Hastings in with the catch, but it's a double penalty for the late obstruction, the late charge, as Jellicoe kicked, and a chance here to kick a goal. The Zimbabweans have actually been awarded 12 penalties in this match to just 2 to Scotland. And this is a situation that is foreign to certainly to Scottish rugby players, as Grobler prepares to try to get 4 out of 4, is the business of the sand. We just dig a hole in the ground and thump the ball, but the sand tee is an interesting development. And of course Grobler asked if he could put the ball up again, but he needn't have asked really, because it's a penalty kick and the Scots can't charge it. In fact, they have to stand motionless with their arms by their sides according to the law. Grobler then. Well, it looks like 4 out of 4. What splendid kicking by the youngster. He's had a lovely day. It's just his 3rd international. He whipped free Zimbabwe total up to 15, 46-15, and they played 17 minutes. So the Scots won't actually be getting anxious, but this young fellow and his kicking has caused them a little bit of, just a little bit of worry. Hastings with the kick, taken there by Sawyer. Battle for the loose ball, forwards trying to get in front. Of course, when a side gets away into a big lead, as the Scots had, 40 points to 6 at half-time, there is, I suppose, a natural inclination to ease off a bit without knowing you're doing it. And if you do, it's not so easy to rev up again. So that'll be Colin Deans' problem at the moment, just to make sure that they don't fall down. Finlay Calder with a lovely dummy. Calder. Yes, the winger Ivan Tukalo was cut off at the last moment. He says, if he'd passed a bit earlier, I might have scored, Finlay. But this big lad, as I say, the twin brother of Jim. Both of them play for Stuart's Melville FP, Edinburgh. Jellicoe. Yes, he's playing a captain's role, Jellicoe. Very tricky little player. He's coming into his own now that he's getting a bit of ball to play with. So David Soul at the front for Scotland, Campbell Lambert in 2nd, Ian Milne 3rd, and Alan Tomes 4th. That lineup has never changed. There's Alan Tomes, who toured New Zealand with the Scots in 1975, 12 years of touring rugby. Campbell Lambert. The roll away again by Paxton. Good tackle there by Bray the hooker. Oliver. Wiley wanted a man a wee bit closer to him. Tukalo was intending to come in. One point about the match, it's been a match played in tremendous spirit right from the start. Hardly a nasty incident in the whole game, and that's great for the World Cup. Great for rugby union. David Soul, number 1 on this side for the Scots, has improved tremendously as a scrummager over the last 18 months, couple of seasons. And it's Paxton once again. Campbell Amerton. Just over the Zimbabwean 22. Oliver to Wiley. Wiley out there to Tukalo. And that's Ivan Tukalo, whose dad came from the Ukraine and his mum is a lovely Italian lady.
Come on, boys. Come on.
Squint feed. Jellicoe penalised for the second time. And the Scots ready to run it. Giving it to the forwards. David Soul. A bit of try from this move already. Nicely out there to Finlay Calder. You can see the move. Oh, beautifully away from Wiley to Oliver Robertson. Great chance here for Tait. Tait out to Duncan. Duncan is in, his second try. And the Scots are up to 50. Yes, there'll be kilts swinging about, I tell you, in Wellington this evening. Lovely pass there from Oliver to Calder. Now, watch there how Wiley, a little flick there to Oliver, opened up the way. Robertson to Tait. Tait gave it to Duncan, and all Duncan had to do was just run in. End on. Robertson timing the pass perfectly to Tait. Tait thought he might get the try, but he felt the tackle coming. Duncan home. Nine tries for Scotland. And Gavin Hastings was with 7 successful kicks from 9. No, that one was pulled right across the front of the posts. But great day for Matt Duncan. He's now scored 5 tries for Scotland in 10 internationals. And smiles at last on the Scottish management's face. $50 points to 15, Scotland lead. They've played about 22 minutes. Grobler restarts. Well, it's a question now of the Zimbabweans trying to take just a little bit more credit from the game, perhaps with another try, such as Dirk Buitendag scored for them. That was Wiley pulling it back a bit too far. Ian Milne couldn't hold it. It was kicked on there by Sawyer. And a penalty has been given for a trip. May have been accidental, but it was a trip. And Jellicoe is asking for the kick at goal. You can just see how it happened here. Ian Milne didn't hold the ball at first. Alan Tomes went for it. And then, oh yes, Finlay called a pure accident, but it did obstruct the lad, and the penalty was fair enough. Still, let's have a look at that again. That was the kick on by the big lad Sawyer, and you'll see how the foot just caught him. Now, Grobler, who's got a 100% record so far, 4 out of 4. And that's 5 out of 5. Can't miss the young fella. Crowd are delighted. What a feast of scoring. 50 points to 18. They played 24 minutes of the second half. $14 points for the young Martinus Grobler. Ian Milne takes. Oliver, Wiley. Roberts in the inside centre, Tait. Gavin Hastings in the line. Duncan feeds it on to Tait. Tait's a powerful lad. Pick up by Neil. This is a great sight for the Zimbabwean, but knocked down by his opposite number, Ian Paxton. Drive on there by Alex Nichols. Now along the line. Kevin Green couldn't hold it. You'll be annoyed about it, but the Scots were offside. They'll have to stop for a moment as Ian Paxton is hurt. So as I was saying, Ian Paxton has now scored 5 tries for the Scots, and that's a record for a Scottish forward in international matches. And the Scots wouldn't want to lose this fellow as the other forwards discuss exactly how it's going. You notice Douglas Wiley, number 10, who has had the job of filling in for John Rutherford in this World Cup campaign now. And he was putting in his pennyworth just now. And Ian Paxton, who was, you remember, a great success for the British Lions as a number 8 here in '83. Shit. But young Grobler, I think he's contemplating a kick at goal. Well, this is a day that he'll remember, isn't it? He's what, 20 years and 10 months? And his first really big tour with Zimbabwe, established as their standoff half. And with 4 penalties and a conversion to his credit out of 5 kicks. Grobler. That's his first miss of the match. Keith Robertson did the catch. He gets a sympathetic clap from the crowd. Been certainly plenty of atmosphere at this game. Wiley. Yes, that's a better kick. The forwards really got some steam up there. Calder takes it on to Deans. Deans caught by Gray. Oliver. Jeffrey standing off. Up to halfway. Down there went Milne to Barrow. Campbell Amerton takes it on. Now it's Finlay Calder. Now it's Oliver once more to Jeffrey. Sucking in those big Zimbabwean forwards. And Alan Tomes was the last Scot to have the ball. Alan Tomes now the most cat-block forward in Scottish history. Zimbabwean 10 metres line. Neil waiting for the pick-up. Jeffrey in with a tackle. Jellicoe. Good tackle there by Paxton. Buitendag, the flank forward. Good drop there by Gray. Scots holding it down. Another penalty. 15 penalties to 3 against the Scots. And Grobler going to pot for goal again. Well, it's perhaps been a bit one-sided, the match, right from the start, but there have been some beautiful scoring movements and a lot of pretty good work that haven't produced tries. And so it's a game I think that the crowd will have enjoyed, and certainly this young fella has enjoyed. Grobler again. Rumpf. Gave it a good whack. Oh, he's made it. $50 points to 21 the Scots lead, and they've about 12 minutes to go to the end of the match. And that young lad there, you see his pals there are simply overjoyed for him. 17 points for him. That surely is near the Zimbabwean record. Hastings taken on by Paxton, fed out to Calder. Wiley on again to Calder. Lovely pass out there. Robertson. This is Matt Duncan. Tomes takes it on. Lost the ball. The counter-attack. Oh, he should have passed it. It's a good long kick, but really it was there for the pass. The overlap was made. Robertson, Gavin Hastings. This is Oliver. But they're perhaps an example of Zimbabwean lack of international practice, because there was a lovely handling chance on there.
Yes!
Penalised for leaving the line out, I think. Idea was quite good for a forward to go through the middle. So Oliver's kick goes straight out. Stephen Hilgett signals, and Eric Barrett has a look at it. Gavin Hastings has Duncan outside. There's Duncan the right wing, still going. Good take by Deans to Jeffrey. This is Gavin Hastings again. Now this is like seven-a-side rugby as Wiley goes. Wiley going for the corner. Great interception by Neil. Gray now helping. Grobler with the long clearance, but that really was a lovely bit of seven-a-side rugby. And the crowd revelling in it. So 50 points to 21 and about 9 minutes of the match to go.
Great, Mike. Time again, come on, time again.
Let's have the gaps.
Irish! Irish!
The jump by Tomes. With clockwork precision there from Tomes, but wasn't quite straight. David Soule, number one here on this side of the front row, is the sweeper up for Scotland at the line-out. He's against this massive bearded lad, Andrew Tucker, who's over 17 stones. And he and Soule are having a right old ding-dong there. There's the shunt. It's like a railway marshalling yard at times, isn't it? But the Zimbabweans held it well. Grobler again high. Tukalo underneath it, but Hastings calls. Penalty for playing it. And the referee, David Burnett, deciding that Gavin Hastings didn't play it immediately out of the tackle. If you do it right away, you're all right. And Grobler is going to go for goal again. Now, he's kicked 5 penalty goals in a conversion. 6 out of 7 shots. He'll be thinking this is just like his birthday, the way they've been going over. One miss, and it was a good kick. And this would cut the deficit to what? 24 points? 26 points. But he's pulled it a bit. I wonder how that happened, he said. I wasn't listening to them before. Touchdown, and Keith Robertson ready for the quick one, but nothing on. Douglas Wiley standing in well for John Rutherford today. And that's another good restart kick, although it's taken there by Tucker. Scott's trying to give the Zimbabweans retreat ball. And that really wasn't a ball the Zimbabwean forward should have lost. This is Calder. Calder, big rangy New Zealand tight flank forward. All made of corrugated iron. Penalty to the Scots for killing it. Now, what are we going to do here? Brian Murphy has a bit look at Gavin Hastings. Gavin Hastings looks at the touchline. So we've about 6.5 minutes of the match remaining, and Zimbabwe go for the two-man line. Dummy run meant for the guy at the back, Buitendag. And there's a fellow who's written his name over this game, Ian Paxton. Super match. And the guys must be getting a bit tired now. The grass is fairly long here at Athletic Park, and it's been a very active match indeed. Scots forwards still have plenty of puff for the scrummage, and there's another against the head as Paxton feeds Oliver. Oliver back inside to Calder. Magnificent take on to Jeffrey. The breakaway forwards in complete charge. Tukalo goes. He's only 5 yards short. Tukalo's still going, but the referee's whistle had gone, deeming the player had been tackled. But Ivan Tukalo there, very strong on his feet for a fellow of his build. You can see from the Zimbabwe forwards there that they're feeling the pace now. They're unaccustomed to international competition such as Scotland enjoy, and obviously the pace is telling now. 50 points to 21 Scotland lead, and they've about 5 minutes to go to the end of the game.
All right.
Taken by Paxton, the drive by Shoal on to Calder. Jeffrey must score here, and Jeffrey going right round behind the posts. The White Shark scores for Scotland his 4th try, and that makes it 54-21.
And the try.
10 tries altogether for the Scots.
Number 6,
it was
John
Shoal driving
Jeffrey
through the line out that made it. Calder timed his pass well, and Jeffrey, well, the line was in his sights. He knew where to go. It's the breakaway forwards who've had such an influential part in this game. You'll notice Ian Paxton was up in support, ready for the pass had Jeffrey been tackled. A good breakaway forward try. And this is Gavin Hastings. Good stroke there. Nice and calm and rhythmic. Yet another conversion for Gavin Hastings.
The conversion.
8 conversions for him, and a try as well. And John Jeffrey there with his 4th try. Ryan Murphy has looked pretty serious throughout the match, but very studying, and he'll take all the good things to aid Zimbabwean rugby in the future. Grobler gets it going. Gavin Hastings made the touchdown. Gavin Hastings may not be aware of it, but he's just 1 point short of the Scottish point scoring record in internationals. Wiley's restart kicking has been good in this second half, giving his forwards plenty of momentum. Neil drives. That was Nichols trying to pick up and feed. Oh, good passing out there to Kevin Graham. Kevin Graham caught, so is the fullback Ferreira. A bit unlucky there, the Zimbabweans. A couple of sharp passes and the fullback up. They might just have had a breakout. So although they've been outplayed for much of the match, there have been little touches to show that the Zimbabweans are learning what international rugby is all about. Pick up by Neil to Jellicoe. Great tackle by Jeffrey. Wiley up in his opposite number, Grobler. Good ball for the Scots. David Soul picks up. No support there, and Dirk Buitendag took it. Now Neil. Neil loves to run, this big lad. He takes a bit of knocking over as well. Good ball, but a bad pass. Oh, it's not the greatest kick either. Tukalo. Oh, fleet-footed stuff from Tukalo. Milne, not so fleet-footed from Ian Milne, who was built by the Lord to be a prop forward. Oliver, Wiley, this is Tait. Duncan again. Super tackle there by Barrett. The kick on by Tait. Tait quite rightly playing football with it. Gavin Hastings knocks it back. The pick-up again by Duncan. Superb defence by the Zimbabweans. But it's Hastings once more. He's out into the open to Calder. That's out to Robertson. A lovely chance here for Tukalo. Tukalo is home. Tukalo's second try. 60 points for Scotland to 21.
And the Scottish try,
By far
Ivan
Scotland's
Tukalo.
biggest score in a major international. Hastings really did it with the switch. Calder's lovely quick pass let Robertson away, and then Tukalo just had to pin his ears back, judged the little outward swerve, and he was home and dry. Lovely long pass from Gavin Hastings, simply opened up the way. Jellicoe couldn't stop Calder. Robertson then gave. Now Tukalo still had a bit to do here. The big fellow was coming across, number 13 Andre Buitendag, but he couldn't stop him. And 11 tries for Scotland. Gavin Hastings pulls it past the post. That would have been the record for Scotland. But Ivan Tukalo there, having now scored 3 tries in 7 internationals. A nice day's work for him. And the Rhodesian Zimbabweans now terribly tired, as you'd expect them to be. Douglas Wiley. But this lad Grobler will certainly remember this match for many days ahead. And you see the Scots are pretty tired as well. Wiley. Taken again by Milne. Oliver again to Calder. Calder well tackled by Neil. That's the feed out from Oliver to Robertson. Robertson with his mazy running. Hastings out to Duncan. Duncan outside his man. Duncan away. Couldn't quite get it back inside. The ball hit the line. Deans with the quick throw in. Everybody gets a bit peeved when a quick throw-in is whistled up, even if it's a bit squint, because it's that little bit of enterprise that lends variety and excitement to the game. But there's been plenty of that in this match. It's been a credit to the World Cup, this game. Scotland well ahead from the start, but real fighting spirit from the Zimbabweans, whose defence, despite conceding 11 tries, at times has been very sound. Injured Zimbabwean player is their captain, Malcolm Jellicoe. And those Scottish forwards have really ruled the roost today in scrummage and in broken play and in ruck and maul. A stream of marvellous possession that will have pleased number 2, Colin Deans there, the captain. And there is opposite number Jellicoe coming back, and the Scots ready to resume. Little clap of sympathy for him. Yes, you can't do a lot with a scrummage like that. I mean, the hooker was striking, Lance Bray was striking, but as soon as the strike goes in, the shunt goes in, and all control is lost. And because of it, Andrew Tucker, the tight head prop, is hurt. He's the heaviest fellow in the Zimbabwean side, over 17 stones. Referee's whistle goes for the end of the match, and Scotland have won an enthralling game with plenty of open movement. 60 points to 21, the final score for the Scots. Several records broken in it. Some wonderful open play that has been much to the delight of this big crowd, and what has been a very good day here at Athletic Park. Certainly a great day for Scotland, a day of learning for the Zimbabwe players, and the Scots winners by 60 points to 21. And there Colin Deans will be a very happy man indeed tonight. There will be some, as I was saying, some kilt swirling in Wellington this evening. And you'll see the Zimbabwean players coming in who, really, there's Dirk Buitendag who scored their try. The usual exchange of jerseys, and that Zimbabwean jersey, a coveted one to have by the Scots, and vice versa. Eric Barrett away through there with his Scottish jersey, and there's the younger Buitendag. And you can see the scars of battle there, because it was a hard physical confrontation up front, but there was so much running in it. There were times when it was like 7-a-side rugby, and there Dave Burnett probably saying, I'm getting too old for this kind of rugby. But what an adornment to the game of rugby football it's been. A host of brilliant tries. Gavin Hastings getting to within 1 point of the Scottish record. And there's some students from Murray House College in Edinburgh. And you can see how overjoyed they are. They're really having a great time. About 200 or so Scots have made the long journey over here to support the Scottish side. And that's the result of their endeavours this afternoon. A great win for Scotland, their biggest score.